Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to make a demo track using the Model 8 from GCS. Once inside Model 8, I'm going to make a new tape. I'm going to call this Never Let You Go, and 10 minutes will be more than enough. This song is about 4 minutes or so 10 minutes is okay. I can choose between 8, 16 and 24 tracks. Let's go for 16. And I just press create. I can't help it, but I get a clear Akai MG1212 sort of a vibe when I look at this interface. Most of what you see here will be pretty self-explanatory, I guess. And anyone who's been working with a tape machine in the past will feel instantly at home here. You can use plugins, both VST instruments as well as effect plugins, and Model 8 also comes with some effect plugins already in place sort of natively in the software. So before I record anything, let's make a scribble strip here and type in some track names. The kick I'm going to record, and the drums from the TR-808, and a bass track. So I'm recording 3 tracks at the same time here to get some backbeat going. I've set up the TR-808 doing A and B variations for the verses and choruses. I'm using both first and second parts of each variation. So I can have 32 steps for each of the A and B variations. Now, while the song is being recorded into the Model 8, I'm using A and B variations manually for the different sections. The 808 is being recorded with a direct out for the kick and a direct out for the rest of the drums. So I'm recording 2 tracks into the Model 8 from this drum machine. The Model 8 can output MIDI clock, so I'm clocking this dope for MSIY, which in turn syncs up the TR-808 to the beat. And every audio stream runs in and out of this Yamaha DM3 mixer. I'll just route my inputs. Again, this is coming in on my Yamaha DM3 mixer and digitally put it out into the software here. I'm using track 1 for kicks, track 2 for the rest of the drums, and track 3 for bass, and I'm arming those tracks for recording. Now I'm going to set up my recording levels going out of the DM3, and I can also adjust the trim knob at the top of each channel strip in Model 8. Of course, back in the day, it was a thing to record as hot as possible, often to saturate the tape and get a kind of musical distortion that way. Right now, I'm setting input levels sort of at random, casual style. I'm not worrying too much about recording hot onto tape. This isn't real tape after all, although it's mimicking a tape recording session very well, if I have to admit. I really like this layout, and it makes me feel right at home and takes me right back actually to, in many ways, better days. One feature of the Model 8, which will also affect the overall sound, is what type of tape or cassette you're using. So I'm going for 1" here, since this is a 16-track recording. And press rec and play, and off I go. And now the sequencer will be driven, outputting sync to the TR-808 and outputting that bass part. So now I will record for the full 3-4 minutes of the song, switching between the A and B variation on the TR-808 itself to correspond with the different sections of the song. There are only 2 verses and choruses. And fast forward, and the song is pretty much come to an end here. A little less under 3 minutes. Don't know if you saw it, but the monitoring knob just above the fader to the left switched from I for inputs over to T for tape. Now I'm in play mode. I'm gonna listen to what's going out of the tape on track 1, 2, and 3, channel 1, 2, 3. So let's hear it back, how we're doing. Since the Model 8 comes preloaded with some plugins, I'm changing a little bit of the reverb setting here on the drums from the inbuilt analog reverb plugin. So I'll just crack on and record some bells for the verse parts. And I've also recorded a few tracks of pads. And this is all recorded by hand, of course. There's no MIDI going on here now, except for that bass track, which was MIDI'd to begin with. And with all tracks 1 through 8 recorded on, I'm switching now to track 9 through 16. And I'm going to record some Jupiter 8 polysynths to the chorus bits. I was using the Roland Alpha Juno 2 on the verses. So let's wrap this in and record something nice for the chorus bits. Of course, the latency can really play a major role when recording things which you play by hand. Sometimes I prefer direct monitoring. Sometimes I prefer to listen to what comes out of the software with a couple of milliseconds of latency. It depends. And for the fun of it, I'm going to record some organs here with the input drive cranked a lot, to see if I can get some nice saturation going through the input stages. And I do. Whether you like this sound or not, well, that's up to you, but it's certainly different from what I had coming out of the synth. And so after recorded some more, I'm now ready to mix. And first I'm going to do an automation pass, because my bass track has to be adjusted somewhat between the verses and the choruses. So I'll enable right automation, rewind, and play through the whole song in one pass, just like on an SSL, and adjust that bass track fader on channel 3. So that was the verse, now comes the chorus, and I'm going to lower the volume on that slightly. And fast forward, and my automation writing is complete. Again, rewind, and now I'll go back to read mode for that automation pass. If you've ever worked with automation on a big console like an SSL, you will find things like latch and touch also on the Model 8. If you're unhappy with your automation pass, you can just clear out that if you want to. I haven't shown you that, but you can also link group faders, VCA groups here in Model 8. Very nice. And another thing of the past, which was sort of a necessary evil, was to bounce tracks. Now I have recorded on 14 tracks, and if I want to record more, I have to bounce all of them or some of them over to a couple of new tracks, in this case in stereo, to be able to clear out, erase tracks for new recordings. So let me bounce out everything to track 15 and 16, a stereo pair, so I can record something more if I want to. Very easy in the Model 8, I have to say. You'll just bounce it out. You can also bounce it out to a WAV file and some other options as well. Very nice. And that is done. So let's solo track 15 and 16 and listen back. Perfect, now I can record on other tracks if I want to. I also want to put a master bus compressor on everything here, not from within Model 8 itself, but something I have in my plugin folder from before. And here it is. And let's have some fun at the end here. A couple of features worth mentioning is that in addition to recording audio, you can also import audio files into the Model 8. And even more, you can also bake tape physics, EQs, gains, etc. into the imported audio files. So that's a very nice touch. I also like that you have the option of totally changing up the color scheme in the user interface here. So this reminds me of an old Yamaha Potter Studio actually. And as I mentioned earlier, you have some soft synths already bundled with the Model 8, but you can also use your own VST instruments or AU instruments in this package. And your own fleet of effects from your effects plugins folder is readily available in Model 8 as well, of course. I actually liked a couple of the bundled effects that comes with the Model 8, but of course, if you want to use your Valhalla Vintage Verb or whatever, you can use this as auxiliary sense or on insert effects, etc., etc. Well, this has been a lot of fun, even with its limits and limitations, working on a tape recorder like this, albeit in a digital form, makes me think about what I'm playing. It makes me think about the melody and structure and what I want to do. And with no undos, no copy or pasting, I have to think about how many tracks I'm going to use, how many tracks I have available, and stuff like that. Things you don't have to think about when working on a regular DAW with a gazillion tracks or a gazillion features. So will I ditch my old sequencer now and use Model 8 exclusively for all my music productions? Of course not. I don't think it's meant to be a replacement for your old DAW, but it's a great alternative to get some creativity and inspiration going. Those times you just want to do something differently. And it's also a great software for emulating tape characteristics like hiss and warps and flutter and wow and all that stuff like you saw me briefly touch upon in the video. And for that it also has its place, I think, software like this. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll leave a link for you in the video description if you want to check out this software. And as always, I'm Espen Kraft. See you next time. Cheers.